Hello everyone and welcome to Buffalo, New York, home of the Sabres, the Bills, and tonight's SFL action between the Atlanta Swarm and the Queen City Corsairs. We're here live at Conpro Field in Buffalo, New York, and I am Jack Brown alongside Andy Hamilton for tonight's SFL on For the Fans action. Andy, 5 wins between these two teams, only 1 loss between the two. And it is a matchup of 2 of the top 5 scoring offenses in the league. I think we're in for quite an explosive match tonight.
Yeah, quite the battle between these two teams, Jack. Queen City 3-0, one of the more surprising teams as they popped out and jumped over everyone's expectations of themselves. And Atlanta, a little bit surprising of their own here at 2-1. They fought off Jacksonville. They beat Denver and fell by only 3 points last week to London. And they might give Queen City a run for their money tonight.
Meanwhile, of course, Queen City, they've run through all 3 of their opponents, beating Fort Worth week 1, London week 2, and Arizona week 3. Really, 2 teams that have surprised the league in this early going, and now as we kind of enter into the midseason, this should be another very interesting one.
Yeah, it should be quite the battle. Atlanta comes in with the 5th best scoring offense. Queen City with the 3rd best scoring offense. These defenses will have to stand up. Atlanta has the nod in terms of total defense. They are 6th best, only giving up 22 points a game, and they are going to have to start out on defense first, it looks like, Jack.
That's what they're going to do. Atlanta in their all whites with the blue shoulders. Meanwhile, Queen City in their all lime green with the white helmets. Get ready, everyone, as football is underway here on For the Fans. Taken right at the goal line, past the 10, 15, up past the 20, up to the 27-yard line. That's where A.J. Caswell and company are going to get started.
Caswell comes into the game. Last week had 365 yards, 2 scores, 8 touchdowns to 2 picks this season, Jack. Really one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Excuse me, 6 touchdowns to 4 picks. Sorry.
Yeah, 1st and 10 here for Queen City. Caswell going under center. Hands it off right up the middle, and it's going to be a gain of nothing, but nothing lost is what they are going to say. 2nd and 10 for the Corsairs.
Jet Zero, 8th most carries in the SFL this season. That was his 67th, averaging 5 yards per carry, Jack. This Atlanta defense will have to clamp down on him if they want to look to win this game.
2nd and 10. Caswell in the shotgun. Caswell snaps a little bit low, goes over to the sideline. That one's going to be caught. Gain of 8 on the plays. He runs over his man on the sideline. That's Deezer Powell on the reception.
Yeah, Powell used to play in New Orleans, and he comes over here to Queen City. And I was going to say it was a timing route there on the sidelines, Jack, and it was ran to perfection, but we'll see. Atlanta wants to see just how perfect that route was ran.
Hey, give us another look at it up here in the booth. You only need 1 foot inbounds for it to count as a catch here in the SFL. Nice.
I thought he got that foot down there, Jack.
Yeah, it looked like he got it down. We'll have to see if we can get confirmation here from our 62. And they're going to say he had the foot out of bounds. Interesting call, but we expect nonetheless from our friend, right, Andy?
I have no comment on out-of-bounds passes from Ref 62. That's my official stance.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Corsairs. Short drop from A.J. Caswell, looks to throw over the middle, and that one's going to be nearly intercepted. The Swarm defense made like their name and swarmed to the ball and tipped it away. That was Chris Henry on the deflection.
Yeah, Henry, one of 4 players on this Swarm defense with an interception coming into this game. Also, that was his first pass deflection of the season, surprisingly enough. For a good safety like Chris Henry, he wants his hands around that ball. And there he is right in the chat. He says, "Gimme that." And I'm sure he would want that. And throughout today's game, he'll be trying to make up for that missed opportunity.
That's what it's all about, getting those second chances here in the SFL. Punt is high, and it's going to go long to about the 35-yard line, taking it past the 40, And that's where Atlanta is going to set up shop.
Atlanta led by Bryant Dynasty. He is 8 touchdowns for 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions, the most in the SFL, and he has the best quarterback rating, 124.8 for the whole season. He is a guy to watch out for on the rise.
Ruthless consistency and just does not give the ball away is Bryant Dynasty. And he's going to throw it to start this game. Throws on a nice little flat route, and it's going to be a gain of about 4 or 5 on the play. Catch was made by number 84 there for the Swarm.
Yeah, nice play to move the ball a little bit upfield, short of the sticks, to make this second and third down more manageable. Good early play on first down. You love to see that.
Yeah, that's smart football. That was show enough. The backup tight end on the grab. Second down, Dynasty, high snap, goes deep over down. It's going to be intercepted by the Queen City Corsairs. And that is his 3rd pick of the season and only on his 2nd attempt of the game.
Well, and it's the 3rd pick this season as well for Cody Griffin, who climbs the ladder to go get this one. Look, receiver runs right into his zone. He stands his ground and rises up to make the interception off of Dynasty. You don't see that often this season, and it's a beautiful play for Queen City.
Pass is intended for Boo Chisholm, but now Queen City has the ball to start with, and they are in excellent field position. A.J. Caswell goes to the sideline once again. It's going to be caught 2nd and 3, and I don't think there's going to be any room for interpretation as Doug Spelling hauls it in.
No, nor would I, if I was Atlanta, burn my 2nd challenge flag this early in the game. Good play on first down for Queen City. Same thing. You know, you pick up 7, it makes the other downs a lot more manageable. So beautiful play to start this drive out, and I'm sure they'll be looking for similar plays to keep moving.
2nd and 3. Handoff up the middle to Jet Zero. Jet Zero finds a hole and makes a man miss. Gets it down to the 31. What a run from Jet Zero. This man, he may be small, but he's got a lot of power in him.
Man, gives him a little shake and bake. Let's see, they won't give us a replay, but in the hole there, he was able to duck under a tackle, which was key to breaking him off the outside. If he would have been able to power through that last tackle, might have been dancing in the end zone.
And they're going to hand it off to him again. Look to be on a similar carry. Only gains 1 this time as the Atlanta defense is able to plug the hole.
Yeah, and that'll be the matchup there. Joshua Williams gets in there on that one. He's a really good defensive tackle. They also have Leo Jefferson. The question will be for those guys and the linebackers like Aquanta Shine, how can you limit Jet Zero's effectiveness today? The more effective he is, the more likely Queen City is at having a chance to win this game.
They're going to hand it off to Jet Zero once again, and he gets hit right at the line. Atlanta saw him coming their way, and they were like, nuh-uh, not today, my friend. And it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
58, Aquanta Shine in there on the play. Nice of him to take his gold jacket off for this game, and he pops Jet Zero at the 30.
Hey, it may be his homecoming, but he is not playing kindly to these Corsairs. Goes on a little dump-off route to Jet Zero. Once again, Jet Zero only gains 2, which, if my math is correct, is nowhere near the first down.
Well, you might not be a rocket scientist there, Jack, but you are correct. Not a first down. It'll be 4th and 7. They will be able, though, to send on the kicker to try and add some points.
Yeah, Dane Morrow, sorry, folks, to attempt his first field goal of the day.
Well, Jack, that's really all you can ask for off of a turnover from Griffin is the opportunity to add points.
Yeah, that really is all you can ask. Snaps a bit low. Morrow kick is away, and it is going to be good from 45 out, and Queen City takes a 3-0 lead.
That was actually Judah Dorgan who sends it up and through, and it's nice for Queen City. I believe they had a small adjustment to the lineup.
Yeah, it does seem to be that they've made those adjustments there. But now 3-0 in the lead. It is 7:13 remaining in the first quarter, and Atlanta is going to get their second chance on the ball. Kick is away. And it is going to be, and it looks like, is it going to be gone? No, he won't, only up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, nice return for Roosevelt out to the 31. It sets them up with good field position here with about 7 minutes to go to try and get back into this one. Dynasty, threw that early interception, but plenty of time to shake that off and just play his football game, right? He's a really good player, and he has the opportunity to adjust.
And so let's see what he can do here. And that one looked to be a pretty good play from Dynasty. Going to be a gain of about 5 or 6 on the play. Or actually, no. Sorry, that's an incompletion.
Yeah, Falco could not hold on to that one across the middle, and that will make it 2nd and 10 here at the 31. For Atlanta, it is, a good opportunity here to try and keep this drive alive. You don't need yards here on 2nd down.
2nd and 10 for Atlanta. Hand it off right up the middle to the fullback, and it's going to gain 2 yards on the play. Hand off to Mitchell O'Brien, and I have to say, that was a pretty successful little handoff.
Yeah, I don't hate the play call. I think Loveless coming up the middle kind of stuffs that a little bit, but it does give them the opportunity here to fight for a 3rd down, and 8 yards is manageable.
It was a smart play from Atlanta. Catch them off guard.
Oh.
It's going to be another deep drop from Brian. Dynasty throws deep over the middle. Now it's going to be another interception. And through just 2 drives, he's already equated his total amount from the entire first 3 weeks.
Yeah, one-on-one there, and it's not the wrong choice, right? It's the right throw. It's just underthrown a little bit, and that gives the opportunity to Ted Haynes to dive underneath it and make the interception. What he needed to do with this route was throw it over the top. See how Boo Chisholm is behind the defensive back. That's not what you want as a defensive back, right? You want to come up and make the play. So Dynasty needed the throw to go over the head of Haynes. At very worst, you overthrow the guy and it's incomplete. At very best, you drop a dime in the bucket over the head. Now 2 picks for Dynasty. And again, he's just got to shake it off. It's too early in this game to get worried over it.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. As Queen City now on Atlanta's 46. Another drive with great field position to start off. Short drop from Caswell. Going to throw it on the flat once again. Gain of 4 on the play.
Well, I thought Jay Miraculous was trying to make a miraculous play and dive underneath that one for a second there. It looked like he was going to try and go after the football. That certainly would have been something, but 4 yards is good for Queen City to start this thing.
Yeah, 4 yards, it keeps you on pace, and when you're already in opposing territory, you really can't ask for more. Deep drop from A.J. Caswell, throws deep, and that one's going to be caught inside the 20, down to the 15. Deezer Powell, on only his 2nd reception today, he already has nearly 30 yards.
Yeah, corner route for Deezer Powell. Let's take a look here. Just marks it off there and actually freezes the defensive back. It's Moose Papineau, the free safety, that kind of gets frozen in coverage, a little bit shocked at how quickly that one was snapped off towards the sideline. He might have been looking for a post or something out of Powell, and it's good yardage down the sideline. It sets Queen City up, knocking on the doorstep.
Ball's on the 15 for the Corsairs. Snaps where it needs to be. Caswell going into the end zone. That is caught. Touchdown, Queen City Corsairs. And they're already up 10-0, capitalizing on some major mistakes from the Atlanta Swarm.
Man, it might be a barn burner here in Buffalo. Powell right across the middle. Another grab for Deezer. Look at that, right in the middle of the defense, and he is able to haul it in. This Atlanta defense, they've been on the field quite a bit, Jack, and they just can't hold on to Deezer Powell. His 2nd grab already closing in on 50 yards.
And now with the extra point pending, they're going to be up 10-0. Snaps a little bit low. The kick is away, nearly blocked, and it is good. Queen City already showing their might over Atlanta, both on offense and defense.
Yeah, this 3-0 team in Queen City, they didn't necessarily come out as the perennial favorite in the SFL to be contenders this season, but they have shown through 3 weeks and the first 6 minutes of this first quarter that they are definitely here to play with the big boys, and they are putting a walloping on Atlanta, mostly through their secondary.
Yeah, looking much like the old Queen City Corsairs teams that were known for winning championships just about every other season here in the SFL, as Atlanta takes it up to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, they used to be, and an injury now.
Yeah, to the Nathaniel Campagna, sorry. And we'll have to see how he handles it. Let's see what got him injured to begin with.
Yeah, that's a big guy running a lot of yardage. Yep, there it is. He just maybe pulled a hamstring or something. Non-contact injury, which means that it's going to go one of two ways. It could either be a cramp or it's very bad. But Campagna, you ask a big guy to run all the way down the field like that too many times in a row, and it could be dangerous for him. But now Atlanta gets to set back up, and I'd like to see them establish some running game.
Going to be a handoff right up the middle to BDG Hollywood. BDG not going to get anything, though. Not going to lose anything. On the other hand, it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, tricky there as, Tilly comes up for Queen City. They do have a pretty good front seven here for the Corsairs. You might have to try and get it to BDG in a little bit more of a creative way, maybe a screen or a little toss or something to try and get him, off center.
2nd and 10. They're going to hand it off to the outside to BDG. Try the outside, and that's not going to work either. They're going to lose a yard. The Hall of Famer BDG not looking quite like himself just a week after getting his gold jacket.
Yeah, and that's not what you wanted either. You don't want to set Bryant Dynasty with 2 picks under his belt in a position where he has to throw deep. 3rd and 11 is going to force him to really take a shot here to move the chains.
He's going to drop deep, throw over the middle, and that one's caught. If there's any way to reestablish your confidence, you throw it deep over the middle, and you find Ryan Roosevelt, and you get a first down.
Wow, talk about guts. Bryant Dynasty, 2 picks under his belt, both deep down the field. He's got to throw deep, and Ryan Roosevelt wide open, rookie nonetheless. And, no flinching from Bryant Dynasty. He's from he's from Hawaii. He's known for the hair flip, and he flips the page on Queen City there and finds Roosevelt deep.
Flips the page and dang near flips the field as they're up to the 48-yard line. Short drop from Bryant Dynasty. Hit as he throws it. Oh, there's a fumble on the play. Who got it? And I think it's Queen City. Yes, they got it. Or no, wait, actually.
No, Queen City got it. Yeah, they fell on it here. In and out of the hands of Falco. Bang, bang play. And right here, it's dove on there by number 45, Jared Crow. But I think, Jack, and that's rightfully so for Atlanta, it's really early to use that second challenge flag, but I think it makes sense.
Yeah, when you know you're pinned on your back foot like Atlanta is, you need to get these plays reviewed. And again, it's doubtful if he even got a football move in.
No, I mean, he barely caught it, to be honest with you. It's a nice hit from BJ Loveless across the middle. Falco won't challenge, that it's a good hit, but I don't think he caught it.
After review, the receiver did have possession.
And that's what R62 is going to say. Atlanta gets their second challenge ruled in their favor, although they now only have one more to use throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, 2 for 2 on the challenges is Mark Chisholm and this staff here in Atlanta, and you love to see that. And for the Swarm fans, they're just happy to have the football back in their hands. They would give you their last challenge for the football.
Throws over to the side, and that was going to be caught in bounds, and they're going to get all those yards back. But now instead of 2nd and 5, it's 3rd and 5 off after the catch from Siege Falco.
Yeah, and they go right back to him, and I think that's the smart move, right? You have this nerve-wracking thing where you almost give the ball over to the other team. You want to get that person involved. He puts 2 hands on the football and puts them in good position here.
3rd down and 4. Snaps a bit high for Bryant Dynasty. Going to throw it deep once again.
Oh!
And a one-handed grab in open field. Not really near the show, but I'm going to say that was a fantastic catch from Boo Chisholm.
Huge catch across the middle. Look at this. Oh, takes it off the helmet of the defender. Unreal play. King Jamal can do nothing about it. Boo mosses him, and it's a huge play down to the 25.
And it's going to be another handoff to BDG Hollywood right up the middle. This for the first time today. He gets a decent run off, gain 6 on the play.
Yeah, and that's where you want to see him get involved. It's not like BDG Hollywood can't be involved in today's game plan if the run game doesn't go his way. He picks up 6 there, and that sets them up. This is the best drive for Atlanta today, and Dynasty just has to protect the football.
2nd and 4, snaps a little bit low, throws on the flat to Hollywood. To BDG Hollywood, yes. And they're going to gain 3 yards, making it 3rd and 1 on the 15.
Yeah, and that's a really safe throw there, Jack. You know, when you're down here, right, down by 2 scores, but one of them is a field goal, you don't necessarily need to force it down the field on 2nd and short. You can easily dump it down to your back and see if he can pick up the yards.
Yeah, and that's the same thing they're probably going to do here. Just go with a quick, safe play. That's exactly what they're going to do. Hand it off to BDG Hollywood and gain it enough for the first down all the way down to the 12.
Yeah, and the Swarm have fought through the adversity here, right? Whether it was the interceptions, the potential fumble, at Queen City scoring twice. They have fought through, and now they're right on the doorstep of putting some points on the board themselves. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Hollywood go to the top of the field on this play.
Deep drop for Brian Dynasty. He's going to go down with the sack, losing 5. He was trying to look for a man in the end zone, but couldn't quite get it in time. Queen City gets their first sack of the day, and DJ Majesty, the journeyman, gets his first sack tonight.
Yeah, first time, back here in Queen City, first season after a couple played away in Tulsa last season, and for a few there. 9th season in the SFL, gets a big sack to make it 2nd and 15. These Corsairs trying to hold Atlanta out of the end zone.
Low snap once again for Brian Dynasty. Throws over the middle, and that one was nearly pick number 3 by BJ Loveless. Came over here from Arizona last season. Those are the sorts of throws that you never want to see a quarterback even attempt.
Yeah, Loveless, not known for having the best hands at the linebacking position in the SFL, but, you know, it's not to say that he couldn't have brought that one in. It's not unfeasible. So, dangerous pass, and Dynasty happy to see 3rd and 15 here.
Another deep drop from Brian Dynasty, goes to the end zone. This time he converts. Touchdown, Atlanta Swarm. I almost said Arizona there. Boo Chisholm gets his 2nd reception of the day, and it's going to be another big one, puts up 6.
Yeah, and this Atlanta team happy to be in the end zone. Boo Chisholm there coming off this left side, runs underneath the defensive back there. We saw that on an interception earlier where the back got underneath the receiver and was able to make a pick on the play there. Boo gets underneath the defensive back. Dynasty puts it on the money, and Atlanta strikes back on the longest drive of the game.
See how this extra point goes. Snaps a little bit low. Kick is on its way, and it is through. 10-7 now in favor of the Corsairs as Atlanta finally pieces something together. And with 50 seconds remaining in this first quarter, I think that this game's going to live up to the hype.
Yeah, certainly has the opportunity to, Jack. You know, both of these teams now going to battle, and it could be a situation where whoever has the ball or makes the too many mistakes loses the game. And for Atlanta, they fought back from a couple early mistakes.
And the kick return taken to the 27 for the Corsairs. Decent return right there. Not much really to go on about from Doug Spelling. 1st and 10 for the Corsairs.
Yeah, and for Queen City, A.J. Caswell, around 60 yards, 70% completion percentage, 1 touchdown. Just needs to keep doing what he's doing. And Jet Zero also having a good day so far.
Deep drop from Caswell, deep throw, and that one was a bit of a tempting throw, but gets him up to the 45. Doug Spelling gets another reception. He's already up to about 3 tonight and right around 50 yards.
Yeah, really interesting throw. If you watch these routes, the out route is actually more open there because the corner route ran right towards where the defensive back was. Caswell, though, doesn't wait. He takes what's open, and it's good to the 45.
Yeah, it would have been slightly higher reward, too. It looks like Caswell almost had Doug Spelling made up in his mind from the moment he took the snap. But it did work out, so not much to complain. Throws over to the sideline. Oh, that one was another risky throw to Christopher Ochoa. And it looks to be that it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, really dangerous throw. It was Jack Napier who was hidden behind the receiver there on the outside and almost was able to come up and make a play on the football.
2nd and 10. Short drop from Caswell goes to the same sort of route as last time, but this time it gains 6. 3rd down and 4. And they've crossed midfield.
Yeah, nice little out route there. You know, for Queen City, they so far today have not forced too much of the issue. They've taken what the defense has given them and put themselves in a position, you know, to really compete in this game. That's what they did there. They made it a manageable 3rd down.
And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter here in Buffalo. The Queen City Corsairs up on top of the Atlanta Swarm, 10-7. And now it's started the second quarter here. Handoff right from the middle to Jet Zero. And Jet Zero gains 1, but 1 was not enough. 4th and 3 for the Queen City Corsairs.
Yeah, not going to do it there, and Queen City will have to punt. And for Atlanta, this is exactly what you were looking for, was a defensive stand in order to give your offense the football back, and they got it there.
Punt is away, and it's going to be waved as a fair catch at the 15, and that's exactly where the Swarm are going to set up for their 4th drive of the game.
And for Atlanta, they really just need to do what they did on the last drive, right? Get down the field, utilize Hollywood if there's the opportunity arises. He's a dynamic player, but also, don't discount your other receiving threats. Boo Chisholm, Ryan Roosevelt, Siege Falco, they're all having solid days so far. You got to keep giving the ball to your playmakers.
And that's exactly what they're going to do on 1st and 10. Hand it off to BDG Hollywood right up the middle. Gain of 7 on the play. And it was a good run, simple hand up the middle and just fall forward.
Yeah, he is one of the greatest bursts of speed of any of the backs in the SFL. And they utilize that in a lot of different ways there, right up the gut.
2nd down and 3. And it's going to be a little swing route out to BDG this time. BDG takes a little sidestep, gets the 1st down up to the 28-yard line. He already has 21 yards on 6 carries. Been a very good back. Has been doing his job effectively.
Yeah, Shane Kaufman and Hattori Hanzo running the stats for us have it right on the money in terms of yardage for BDG. He's having a solid day on the ground so far, and I think they'll continue to involve him.
Deep drop from Brian Dynasty. Throws towards the sideline. Going to be caught in bounds. Not going to say he got the 1st down, though, was Ryan Roosevelt. 2nd and 1.
Yeah, that's a really pretty route from Roosevelt. He put all the speed into those first 7 or 8 steps, so you thought he was going deep, and then just at the last second, he cuts it outside. Dynasty hits him on the money. Those two have a really good connection so far, right? You have the veterans of Falco and Chisholm, but what I'm seeing from Roosevelt early here is a lot of connection with the young quarterback.
2nd and 1, handoff right up the middle to BDG. Hollywood gets the 1st down. That is what that play was designed for, and they executed it to perfection.
Yeah, nice play right up the middle for BDG. Just move the chains, keep the ball and the clock moving, and Atlanta is doing what they need to here. If they're going to go to battle with a team like Queen City, you just have to keep pace, right? Down by 3, they are definitely keeping pace with the Corsairs.
Deep drop from Hollywood. Throws once again to the sideline. That's going to be caught in bounds. Gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah, when you have a quick receiver like Chisholm, the out route can easily kind of get open and find the room there on the sidelines when you're playing that type of defense. And Queen City knows it, and they're willing to give up the 4 yards there and live to see another day as opposed to seeing Boo catch one over the top.
These are the sorts of smart plays you like to see from a team playing smart like Atlanta. Handoff to BDG. Hollywood right up the middle, gets smashed after only gaining a single yard. 3rd and 4.
Yeah, cut down there in the middle of the field. BJ Loveless moves and shakes and might have jumped a guy there. I'd have to see the replay to be sure of it. But a nice play from BJ Loveless brings up this big 3rd and 4.
Split back shotgun is the look for Bryant Dynasty. Dynasty looking around, throws it, and that one's going to be complete to Siege Falco. Another very risky throw. Quarterbacks taking very risky throws tonight.
Yeah, out route there from Falco, able to get over and find the opening on the sideline. Again, another speedy receiver with the out route. You know, Queen City looks like they're willing to give that up a little bit tonight.
Another handoff up the middle and to BDG Hollywood. Nothing gains out of it. Nothing lost. 2nd and 10 for the Atlanta Swarm.
Yeah, BJ Loveless coming over from Arizona, and Eddie Gage, upon his departure, talked so much about how important he was to the defense and the culture in Arizona, and now showcasing, you know, exactly what he was worth here in Queen City with plays like that.
Another handoff up the middle to BDG Hollywood, and once again cut down at the line, and once again it's BJ Loveless.
Yeah, second verse, same as the first. Loveless there for another tackle. That guy, you know, is one of the all-timers when you talk about, you know, his impact over the course of his career. Nearly 620 tackles.
Yeah, definitely getting up there in the tackle count is BJ Loveless. Bryant Dynasty throws, going to be caught for a first down. A little spin move, but unfortunately for Siege Falco, the spin had a toe out of bounds. It's only going to be a 1st and 10.
Yeah, I want to see this replay because I don't know if he stepped out of bounds. Let's see, right? Yeah, right there, he did step out of bounds. That spin was dirty, though, and if he would add another inch of yardage on the sidelines, that might have been the play of the week. With the way that he dusted that Queen City Corsair into the sidelines. Instead, it's still a first down, sets him up at the 35, still a nasty play.
And he had all that yardage in front of him. He probably could have sprinted to the end zone. But
yeah.
Alas, it's only 1st and 10 on the 35. Still a good play, though. Dynasty throws it over the middle, and just smothered was the receiver by BJ Loveless. If there's any man who's trying to make himself a contender for Defensive Player of the Week, it's him.
Yeah, Loveless showing out here on the defensive side. Seems to be the player on Queen City that's putting the most against Atlanta. He knows where Hollywood and Jamal Wooding are going to be in that middle of the field, and it's certainly forcing Bryant Dynasty to be careful with these throws.
Deep drop, throws on towards BDG, and BDG not going to be able to get much in terms of yardage. Maybe 1 or 2. It's going to force a 3rd and 9.
Ran down there on that defensive side. Cody Griffin, the rookie, had the interception earlier and is able to run him down there for a tackle. And it's going to set up 3rd and long here. And again, Dynasty has to be careful. You can't force it too far down the field here. Otherwise, Queen City might make you pay.
Snaps right where it needs to be. Throws to the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. Boo Chisholm not able to hold on to it, and instead they're going to have to trot out the field goal unit.
Wow, knocked that out at the last second. I didn't get the defender's name, but what a play there to lodge that ball loose and make this a very difficult. Yeah, they're not even going to be able to attempt the field goal. They're going to kick it away to Queen City. What a play. I mean, that tackle on the ball, and that play is the difference between a field goal attempt and a punt.
Chris Smith out to punt it away. Nearly blocked was the punt. And it's going to be a sky kick into the end zone. And Queen City, is going to bring it out to the 20.
That's really unfortunate for Atlanta. They were looking to try and pin Queen City deep from the 34. Instead, the punt goes into the end zone, and it's a net of 14 yards, and Queen City gets the ball at their own 20. Really unfortunate for Atlanta.
First and 10, going to be a handoff to Jet Zero to the outside. Jet Zero, gain of 7 on the play. Nice little run towards kind of what looked to be an off tackle, and it does what it needs to do. Or no, that was Chris Komasak, I'm sorry. Or no, wait, he got the block.
Yeah, nice cut block there from Komasak on a Qantas Shine, and that forces Cree Higgins to come over and make the play. These linebackers work well together, but a Qantas Shine is a Hall of Famer. Clearly, kind of the guy that Queen City is keying on to make sure it gets a block.
Gonna be another handoff up the middle to Jet Zero, who powers through 2 Atlanta Swarm defenders and gets the first down. The man has always been known as one of the more strong halfbacks in the league, and I don't know if there's any better play of it than that right there.
Yeah, that was strength on strength, and Zero got the best of a Qantas Shine. Not many players can get the best of a Qantas Shine, but Zero did right there for the first down.
Short drop, throws towards the sideline, going to be caught in bounds for Queen City up to the 44-yard line. I think that was, once again, Christopher Ochoa on the grab. No, that is actually the tight end, James Matthew Jr.
Yeah, at one point in his career, I thought James Matthews Jr. was one of the best tight ends in the SFL. This season, I think he's still trying to kind of get his footing under him. Does have, the 15th most receptions, but still has a little bit of a ways to go to catch up, to some of the top receiving threats in the SFL. But definitely well on his way, and definitely someone that Atlanta has to keep an eye out for.
First and 10, ball's on the 44. Going to be a little handoff up the middle to Jet Zero. Jet Zero gains about 6, but not after about 4 or 5 different Swarm players had to tackle him.
Yeah, nice play there coming up from Jay Rock to make the tackle. A cornerback making a tackle like that, you need some of those plays to win a football game, and Rock makes it there, makes it 2nd and 6.
Second and 6. Handoff up the middle, and it's going to be
nice.
A no gain, no loss situation as the Atlanta Swarm defense just plugged the hole and forced him to the ground. That's Joshua Williams on the tackle.
Yeah, I met Joshua Williams at the convention last week. That is one big dude, not only on the field, but in real life. That's a big dude. And Jet Zero ran right into his big old arms, and he wrapped him up.
One of the few players here in the league where their in-player height matches their real-life height.
Yeah.
As he gets the throw off for the first down. A.J. Caswell having a really good game for himself so far. So is Christopher Ochoa.
Yeah, 99 yards for Caswell. Ochoa there on the out route just moves the chains, and that's the difference. Both these teams are pretty good on third down, but what will really kind of be the deciding factor is which defense can stand up. It's actually Atlanta who allows the least percentage. They only give up 39% on third down.
And this is going to be a free play for the Corsairs, and they're very clearly just going to take the penalty yardage. Want to shine on the tackle, but it's not going to mean anything.
Yeah, and most of the times when someone jumps off sides, a QB can take, a deep ball as a shot, but didn't do it so there, just gave it to Jet Zero, although with the way he's been running, you might not be too upset about that. Give him a free opportunity. If he breaks one off, great. If not, no big deal. You can reset.
I mean, yeah, when you're playing it with a team like Queen City here, runs with Jet Zero may as well be attempts at deep bombs, have about the same percentage of working here in the SFL. Short drop from Caswell, tries to go with a similar throw to what Dynasty did not too long ago, but James Matthew Jr. hit in the air.
Yeah, Cree Higgins popped him here. I want to take a second look at this. Linebacker's dream. You got a tight end floating across the middle. Oh, right in the, actually really a good form tackle. I thought he might have put the shoulder pad in the gut, just grabbed his thigh and upended him. Really actually kind of nice from Cree Higgins to not just lay James Matthews Jr. out. Props to Cree for being a little friendly out there.
Yeah, just did a good old-fashioned arm tackle.
Yeah. Gave him the old up and under.
Yep. Although I will agree with you as a linebacker in this league on that statement that, those floating tight ends, they're the most fun to play around with. Handoff to Jet Zero.
Oh.
Jet Zero breaks one off, gets the first down to the 32-yard line. It looked like for a split second there that he was going to be gone.
Yeah, he said, Moose Papineau, meet my arm and meet the ground, both of which were where Papineau found himself, and Zero found the first down yardage to the 32. This is a battle. Back and forth we swing.
That will bring us to the 2-minute warning here in Buffalo. After an explosive first quarter, both these teams are looking for their first scores of the second quarter. However, with that in mind, Queen City all the way down to Atlanta's 32, almost in field goal range. Standing right up and throws towards the sideline, going to be caught in bounds by Ochoa, and Ochoa gets it all the way down to the 8-yard line, first down and goal.
Yeah, huge play there. Crossing route, got the defensive backs all crossed up here, and found Ochoa. There's kind of the bunch there on the left side of your screen, and Ochoa tiptoes the sidelines. Now, this is a big play. Look, it comes off the contact and stays in bounds for 3 to 4 extra yards. Big from Ochoa. Sets him up here at the 8. This is where I'd like to see, a carry or two to Jet Zero to start this off, see if he can punch it in from 8 yards out. Then, if not, go to the air. You got to protect the football, protect the lead here.
Going to be a handoff right up the middle to Jet Zero. However, Jet Zero is not going to get anything out of it. They're going to say forward progress. Got him back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's fine. The thing you don't want to do here is throw the ball into a tight window where defensive backs can use the boundaries as secondary defenders. You want to try and let Jet Zero run it. If it doesn't work, then you can throw.
Another handoff right up the middle. Going to make it a 3rd and goal on Atlanta's 6-yard line.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing, Jack. Now on 3rd and goal, you can look to throw to the air. If the throw is there, toss it. If not, check it down. But, really nice organization here from Queen City not to do too much.
Yeah, you got the perfect amount of space, about 16 yards laterally to work with. They're going to throw it towards the sideline, get it down to the 2. And while they don't get into the end zone, they certainly are more than likely going to get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that's something that on film they'll talk to Doug Spelling about. Hey, as a young player in this league, you got to catch that with enough room to turn up and at least dive for the pylon. Spelling, a young player can't do so there. That's a play that the Boo Chisholms and the Siege Falcos of the world can make, the Christopher Ochoas as well. So, unfortunate that Spelling is the one on that break and that route. But for Queen City, like I said, you don't want to force it, right? A pick is worse than taking a field goal. So now in a tight game like this, an extra field goal to make it a 6-point lead instead of a 3-point lead, that's bigger than an error potentially taking the points off the board. So for Queen City, that's all right. You'll take that at this point in the game.
And with that in mind, they're up 13-7 with 56 seconds remaining here in this first half. Ball taken at about the 5-yard line as Atlanta's moving it up the field, up to the 29. And now Bryant Dynasty and company have 51 seconds to hopefully put some points up on the board.
Yeah, you don't have to force it. You do have all 3 of your timeouts if you're Bryant Dynasty in this offense. You have a lot to work with, right? You can try and get down the field with plenty of time left to put some points on the board. Remember, a field goal is perfectly acceptable in this situation. If you're Dynasty in this offense, you don't have to try and go for 6.
Short drop from Bryant Dynasty. Throws towards the sideline. Going to be caught in bounds. taken up to the 36. It's going to be second down and 3.
Yeah, it's a good first play.
Clock is still ticking, though. Going to be a handoff to BDG Hollywood, and BDG Hollywood gains nothing on the play, and that's going to force the Swarm to take their first time out of the half.
Yeah, I really would have liked if Hollywood would have got outside and to the left. Was really unfortunate that he wasn't able to kind of follow his blocks, and they will have to take a timeout. But I'm glad they did, as opposed to just getting back on the ball.
And now here in Compro Field, the noise is deafening. Crowd chanting defense like there's no tomorrow. And unfortunately for them, it does not quite work out as Bryant Dynasty gets the first down, but Queen City gets the tackle inbounds. So it's going to be first and 10 on the 41. Clock is still ticking. Bled a little bit too much time off it and throws over the middle. Going to be caught inbounds. Well, obviously inbounds right over the middle. Second and 1. Same formation as last time. Queen City. There's a defender there just taking his merry time getting back into position. Smart plays. Now they only have 5 seconds to work with. Short drop. Stands up. Throws over. It's going to be a completion.
Throw. Yeah, that's going to be a face mask, too, which is going to put them in field goal range. Siege Falco makes the catch under duress. Huge play for Atlanta. Unfortunate mistake for Queen City, but what a throw from Dynasty to give the floater to one of his veterans.
An extremely smart play overall as Cody Griffin tagged with the face mask. And, yep, that one was just a little bit too close. So now on Queen City's 24, expect to see a kick attempt from the Atlanta Swarm and from Sammy Steele. Steele's kick is away, and his kick is no good. No good. Sammy Steele misses it to end off the half, and Queen City holds on to their 13-7 lead.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Steele. Looks like he just pulled it a little bit to the right. But for Atlanta, you still got to come away with a positive that you were able to get into field goal range with that little bit of time left.
Yeah, and so we go to the halfway point of this ball game. Queen City up 13-7, capitalizing on some pretty major turnovers from the Swarm and from Bryant Dynasty, who during his first couple of drives is playing much unlike himself.
Yeah, it hasn't necessarily been the Dynasty we've seen this season. We'll see if at the halftime break he can adjust. It was a quick halftime break. The players just barely got into the locker room and ate an orange slice before the refs called him back out onto the field. But we'll see if Dynasty can come out and be different. He'll get an opportunity right away.
Yeah, this is the one upside from Atlanta, that field goal miss. Not going to hurt them that badly in the long run. We'll have to see as the second half is underway. Taking it about the 5-yard line, and they're going to take it up to the... nearly broke that one away. Only gets to the 29. How many of these kick-up returns is Ryan Roosevelt going to have before he just sprints into the end zone on one of them?
Yeah, I mean... put it down now. I think he'll take one back before the end of the season. I think Atlanta can clip that and put that in their postseason documentary they always do. I think Ryan Roosevelt will have one before the season's over.
Yeah, he's definitely been threatening it every time he's touched the ball on the kick return. Throws on the flat to Mitchell O'Brien, and O'Brien gets 3 yards. It's not often that you see fullbacks become receivers in this league, although recently, in the past season or so, they've become a crucial part of the passing attack in the SFL.
Yeah, and Kappa Jones got, absolutely bottled him there on the sideline coming over to make the hit.
2nd and 7, Queen City making some adjustments to the line. Low snap for Bryant Dynasty, throws over the middle. Nice, smart throw to Siege Falco, makes it a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Falco reliable there in the middle. That was the play he fumbled early, quote-unquote fumbled earlier on that got overturned. He holds on to that one, makes it 3rd and very manageable 2 here to keep this drive alive.
Deep drop once again from Bryant Dynasty on 3rd down and 2.
Run
He's got
it.
a lot of time. Oh, he nearly ran with it. Throws it. It's going to be a tip drill intercepted.
Oh,
just
man.
ran with it.
Yeah, you hate to see that for Dynasty, able to throw, and Ted Haynes comes up with another interception there, lurking in the backfield off the tip drill, just tried to force it to to Chisholm, and yeah, he really should have ran it. I think that's something that Dynasty will look kind of at the film at later and say, you know, hey, the yardage was there. I could have ran for 2 and slid, but instead I tried to, you know, force it a little too much. In a tight game like this, you have to take what the defense gives you, especially on the road.
Heck, it looked like he was going to get those 2 yards just from that passing motion if he had just tucked it in. But that's in the pass. Now they're going to hand it off to Jet Zero. Jet Zero makes a man miss. He's going to make 2. No, not quite. Up to Atlanta's 27, and it's going to be 1st and 10.
Jet is running through this defense. Atlanta has to be careful here. Some good blocks there on Shine, forcing Moose Papineau out of the situation. And it takes Napier coming over all the way from the backside to make the play. And if you are Atlanta, that is dangerous. You can't let that happen too many more times.
Now the ball is on the 27 for the Corsairs. Short drop, throws on the flat, going to be caught in bounds. Gets it up to the 23-yard line, 2nd and 6.
Play again, 1st down, all you're really looking to do is cut into that 10 yards a little bit. 4 yards is on pace to get the 1st down. Nice play by Caswell in this offense. Caswell operating at about 72% still in terms of completion percentage, hitting the receivers when he needs to. Really good day for him so far.
Really good day, and he's been playing it rather smart as well. Handoff to Jet Zero up the middle. Jet Zero trucked through 2 men. Gets it to the 11.
Yeah, and when you have a back like this in Jet Zero complementing the passing game at nearly 5 yards per attempt, it makes it tough. Another block on a Qantas Shine forces Cree Higgins to be the first one to meet Zero in the hole. And I don't mean any disrespect to Cree Higgins, but he is not a Qantas Shine, and Jet Zero takes advantage of that. Now up to over 70 yards.
Handoff once again to Jet Zero, who sheds another tackler and a half. Gain of 6 on the play. This man has decided to make mincemeat of the Atlanta Swarm defense.
Yeah, he's running strong today. You know, really kind of the workhorse here for Queen City. Has a little bit of that, power that you'd like to see in a back of his caliber. And for Queen City now here on the 5, it's the same thing as the Atlanta had. You don't want to turn the ball over.
Short drop, throws to the end zone, caught in bounds, not a touchdown, but it is a 1st down. And Deezer Powell with a great grab.
Yeah, Atlanta has used all of their challenges, or they might have one left. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember for sure, but not necessarily the throw that I don't know. It was close.
Yeah. Kind of rare that you see like those sorts of plays where it's like it gets the 1st down but not the touchdown when the 1st down marker's at like the 1. It's going to be a nice little handoff of the middle to Jet Zero, and it's going to be 2nd and goal as Atlanta and Joshua Williams, who's been the MVP of this Atlanta defense so far, gets the stop that was needed.
And they don't call him Swole for nothing. It takes a big man to not let Jet Zero get a single yard.
No. Honestly, it was closer to half a yard at that rate.
But he lost a yard there at the 2.
Yeah. What can you say? Handoff in the middle of Jet Zero once again, and once again stopped at the line of scrimmage. This time getting in on the party is number 52, Garrett Hudson.
Yeah, Hudson came up and knocked him backwards. Big play for that young man to make it there. And now it's 3rd and goal. Atlanta, opportunity to keep him out of the end zone here.
And it's going to be a handoff right up the middle, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Queen City Corsairs. And now they're up 19-7, taking advantage of yet another Bryant Dynasty mistake.
Yeah, and good play calling from Queen City. You have a back who is blistering the defense. You're on the 1 yard line. Give it to him 3 times. Even if it takes all 3, he finds his way into the end zone. That time they spread out 5 wide to hand off to Jet Zero right up the middle, and it turns into pay dirt for Queen City. They capitalize off of another turnover, and like we said earlier, Jack, the turnovers could be the key, right? If Bryant Dynasty, who's been having a great season, can't match it without throwing the interceptions, Queen City can take advantage of those, and they have so far today.
Yeah, all 3 of their scoring drives, if I'm not mistaken, have come off turnovers. Or 3 of their 4 at least have come off turnovers from Bryant Dynasty. And if you're Atlanta, that's really the key thing that you got to be looking at. You got to just make sure that you are stopping Bryant Dynasty from making those mistakes, which it seemed like they have for the majority of the game until that last interception.
Yeah, after the early ones, he kind of bounced back, and then that last interception kind of woke him back up, and he needs to remind himself to be careful over the next quarter and a half, to find, the Bryant Dynasty that's been playing this season. It doesn't have to be pretty, right? You just have to get back into this game. A touchdown puts you down by 6. So, you need to drive down the field here. Take your time. You got plenty of time on the clock to get back into this football game.
Going to be a deep drop from Bryant Dynasty. Throws short on the flat to BDG Hollywood as BDG gains 8 on the play and gets wrapped up by Cody Griffin.
Yeah, and a screen like that is a great start to a drive, especially for a quarterback that's had some trouble finding receivers. You find one that's wide open because you've schemed him open, and then you get a couple blockers in front of him, and BDG is one of the best backs in the league at taking screens that are worth 3 to 5 yards and turning them into 8 to 10 yard rushes. So he does so there, and it makes it 2nd and 2, which, really your whole playbook's open. It's a playmaker's dream where you can throw deep and come back on 3rd down if it doesn't work and get those 2 yards.
Well, this time they're going to go with the very long swing handoff to BDG Hollywood, but it does not work at all. It makes them actually lose a yard as the tackle was made by Maurice Lloyd.
Yeah, not the play you wanted to see there, losing a yard, but 3rd and 3, still very manageable. I'd love to see another screen to Hollywood. Why don't you toss it to the bottom here, into the open field.
Played smart here. They're going to go with a heavy set to Hollywood this time. Just made a man into his mincemeat, and he sheds another tackler. Couldn't shed 3, though. Gets it all the way down to Queen City's 22. And although that wasn't a touchdown, that has to be one of the best runs I've seen this season so far.
I know, and arguably that was one of the more exciting plays of this game. He took that first handoff originally up through the middle, which was weird because the blockers were all schemed to go to the outside, and you could almost see the blockers being like, wait, he's not behind us, where's he going? But they continued their blocks downfield, and by the time he found the blockers again, he was into the open space. Beautiful running from BDG Hollywood. That's why he's a Hall of Famer.
One of those distinct trick plays as well. Throws over the middle from Bryant Dynasty. Gets it down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal for the Swarm as Boo Chisholm with another great reception.
Yeah, and this is what Bryant Dynasty needs to continue to do. You don't have to be the hero, right? If you're Bryant Dynasty, they're not asking you to do that just yet. You have Boo Chisholm, you have Siege Falco, you have BDG Hollywood, these veterans, these stars in the league. Just get the ball to them and let them do their thing.
Handoff right from the middle to BDG, but this time it only gains him a yard. Not a terrible play call, I must say, but certainly nowhere near perfect.
No, on goal-to-go situations, I think you got to use BDG at least once or twice, especially with a quarterback that's had trouble during the day. The last thing you want to do is ask him to throw it 3 times, although now they're going to spread it out.
And they do have 17 yards to work with here, so it should be an interesting thing to see what they do here. They're going to hand it off to BDG, and he's actually going to lose a yard. DJ Majesty on the tackle.
Yeah, Majesty, the former linebacker turned end, saw that run coming to his side. He stood his ground and was able to make the play. Now 3rd and goal. Now Dynasty's got, I mean, you got to throw, right? You can't try and run it again, down by this much.
Yeah, you have to throw the football. It's going to be a deep drop, throws towards the corner. It's picked off again as Queen City forces yet another interception from Bryant Dynasty. 4th interception of the night.
And it's Cody Griffin again. Now 2 for Griffin. It's just a little go route here to Roosevelt. He tries to put it in the back of the end zone. There's just too many Corsairs there with the boundary playing, a 4th defender kind of in that area. It's really unfortunate for Dynasty. Unlucky, but like we said, he had to throw. He took his shot to the rookie. It didn't work out. Now your defense back out there.
Hand off up the middle to Jet Zero, and Jet Zero gains 4 on the play up to the 24-yard line. And now if you're Queen City, it's kind of weird to see them already kind of start to do this, but they're shifting into clock control mode.
Yeah, a little bit. I think the other thing, is just with the way that Jet Zero has been running, you give him more carries than you probably would normally. I mean, he's at 4.5 yards a carry.
And that's going to be another handoff, and he trucks through about the entire Atlanta Swarm defense up to the 37-yard line. And Jet Zero, I mean, what haven't we said about this man already that would be superlative?
Strong. I mean, he's strong, right? He's been running through defenders and really embarrassing them. But I think if you're Atlanta, you have to find a stop to that if you want to get back in this game. It looks like you're playing man on the outside, which leaves the 2 linebackers to deal with Zero.
As A.J. Caswell throws over the middle. Oh, man, someone called the local Buffalo hospital as that man got laid out.
Yeah, Caswell with a floater, and Moose Papanow made him pay. Look at this, just a little wobbly duck, and Papanow not even looking at the football. Replay that a couple times if you want to see big hits. I mean, Papanow was just lining him up the whole way.
Anywhere else, and I'm not even just talking about the big league, but at any other level, that would have been an immediate flag. But
Not here.
No. We let our boys play here in the SFL, boys and girls for that matter.
Yeah, and girls.
2nd and 10 here for A.J. Caswell. Throws over the middle, and it's going to be a very similar route to last time, but it gets him up to midfield.
Yeah, and if you saw, Powell kind of kept his head turned to the inside a little bit more as he was catching that football. He was waiting for the hit from Papanow. Caswell also throws a little bit better of a spiral there. Yep, beautiful. And that's the difference, right, between getting popped and making a catch like that on a slant is the difference between the throw and where the safety's going to be and whether you know where he's there or not. That moves the chains.
A much better placed throw from A.J. Caswell. Short drop from Caswell, and he gets hit and is going to go down for the sack. I think that is Joshua Williams. No, it's not, actually. It's number 90, Leo Jefferson, the tackle.
Yeah, coming right through the middle. Jefferson able to make the play, and if he wouldn't have, Swole would have off the backside. So almost better for Caswell to eat that one and go down there on first blush. And that's what Atlanta needs. Back them up, force them into an uncomfortable situation.
And they're going to hand it off to Jet Zero to try and compensate for it. Not going to work as it usually has. And the tackle was made by Cree Higgins.
Yeah, and Cree almost knew, the defender, as a defender, hey, this is our time, right? When you drop a guy back like that, hey, here we go. This is our chance to get off the field, right? So they kind of step up. They put him to bed, and now it's an important play.
3rd down, deep drop from Caswell, moving off the pocket. He's going to go down for a sack all the way back to his own 40-yard line. And look who it is again. Leo Jefferson.
Leo with another big play for Atlanta. That drops him. And look, this interception that happened in the end zone turns into nothing. Queen City going to have to punt it right back, and Atlanta right back where they were, right? So for the defense, for the Swarm, you pick up your quarterback, you show him that, hey, we can help you right back into this football game. And they do so, and now it's Dynasty's time to wipe it off again. You know, you're starting new. You're 0 for 0, no touchdowns, no picks. Let's see what you got.
Especially now since they've been put very much on the back foot in terms of momentum, as time is now winding down, as the camera likes to focus on one of the men who's really made the difference here tonight for Queen City, BJ Loveless. 6 tackles and a pass deflection to his name. But each of those tackles have been more ferocious than the last. Deep drop from Bryant Dynasty. Short throw over the middle to Siege Falco. And honestly, I'm surprised that they haven't really leaned into that and really made that the core of their playbook.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job against BDG tonight is the Queen City defense. He's sitting around 67, 69 yards. So for him, you know, if you can't get him going, you got to find open guys. Falco's a good one.
Low snap for Bryant Dynasty. Slings it deep over the middle. And that's going to be a 5th interception. And it's going to be taken down the sideline. Oh, found a lane. What a return there on the interception. That's usually one of those where you get 5 and you sit down. But Cody Griffin, the man who has eaten Bryant Dynasty alive, making him look like a poor merchant's vessel. And he's just taking it down to within, I think that's the 20.
Yeah, the speed from Griffin surprised me a little bit after the pick to turn the corner and get down the sideline that fast was just impressive. And he hung with Siege Falco. Griffin, a name to put on your radar if you're playing Queen City in the future weeks. Don't test him. He knows where he needs to be.
So it's 1st and 10, ball on the 17-yard line. Hand off to Jet Zero right up the middle. Jet Zero makes a man miss. Not going to make a second one miss, though. And is barely stopped from getting the first down. And that play right there will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Get your 4s up in chat, folks. The Queen City Corsairs are in the lead by 13 over the Atlanta Swarm here on FTF Twitch. Loving seeing all the 4s come up in chat, and 86s. Don't forget your 86s too, folks. 2nd down for the Corsairs. Handoff right up the middle to Jet Zero, and it's going to be another 1st down, 1st and goal from within the 5.
Yeah, really good play. And for Queen City here, you're up by 13. Any score makes it, you know, really tough. A touchdown, though, really would put this thing, you know, in your hands to control. So for the Corsairs, protect the football, take what's open. 3 points is better than none.
And it's going to be a handoff to Jet Zero to start this one. And Joshua Williams, the big man, the swole man, forced him to lose a yard or 2.
Yeah, they need that. Again, the more you back them up, the harder it is for Zero to rip off 8 yards. Not impossible, we've seen it, but certainly harder.
It wouldn't be the most insane thing tonight as Agent Caswell goes right down, and Joshua Williams, he has just decided, you know what, I'm going to take this entire game into my hands.
Yeah, and they need it. I mean, look, 3rd and goal, backed up, your back's against the wall, you got to figure it out.
Third down and goal. Deep drop for Caswell, throws deep to the back of the end zone, caught! No, incomplete, no touchdown! Oh, I had to go back and forth a few times on that one, folks, but Deezer Powell went up, climbed the ladder to heaven, gets it with a one-handed grab in the middle of traffic. That has to be one of the catches of the week.
Yeah, and for Queen City, that is the difference between, you know, potentially being a team that competes for a championship and being a team that has a good run in the early part of the season is plays like that can make the difference, right? A field goal makes it a 16-point game, keeps Atlanta in it, but a big touchdown like that can put you out in front and in control like they are now, with 20 points being the difference. So for Queen City, those are the plays that you need to continue to make across the course of a season to prove that you are the team to beat.
So now with the ball on the tee, we are back underway from here in Atlanta as Ryan Roosevelt looking for another touchdown. Not going to get it, though, on the kick return at least. Again, though, Andy, you said it early, and I have to agree with you. He is going to break one out for a touchdown at some point this season.
Yeah, I think if he keeps progressing the way he is, I wouldn't be surprised to see him do so. It's a long season. There's a lot to play for, as we're basically a third of the way through after this, this game completes for most teams. So I wouldn't be surprised over the other 2/3 of the season to see it happen.
Short drop for Bryant Dynasty. Short throw over the middle. It's going to be a nice gain of 4. It seems to be Atlanta's kind of falling into this little thing where they give Dynasty a few plays. He regains his confidence, gets a little bit too cocky, and then throws it down the field for another interception.
Yeah, at this point you have to be careful because down by 20, the time is important too, right? It's not just can we get down the field and score. It's can we get down the field and score enough points quick enough to compete for the win.
They're going to hand it off to Hollywood. Hollywood going to the outside, getting the first down up to the 40-yard line for the Swarm, and a nice, well-designed play.
Yeah, it's a nice run to the outside, good blocking for Hollywood. He needs blocks like this in order to continue to push down the field. But again, the time is the issue, right? If you are Atlanta, you can score on points if you have all the time in the world, but with only 8.5 minutes, the question is, at this pace, how much can you score?
And they're going to try once again with BDG, and BDG just gets stopped at the 42. Gains 2, but not much more after it. BJ Loveless once again with a tackle.
Yeah, I think they got to score with over 5 minutes to go here. If you're scoring under 5 minutes, it might be too late. And I think the thing that, you could probably debate about in the chat if you wanted is 6 picks, too much, right? Like, I would almost rather you try and push the ball downfield and throw a 6th interception than dink and dunk and run for 1 and 2 yards here your way out of this football game.
I mean, and yeah, even considering that, Bryant Dynasty, he has thrown good balls earlier in the game. He's gotten those really deep throws to Boo Chisholm and Ryan Roosevelt, and that's what he's going to try for this time. Tipped up into the air, and they are so lucky that wasn't pick 6.
Yeah, they're lucky it wasn't picked, but I think here's the issue, right? It's not that was deflected away. I mean, that is an issue. But I think it's also that you ran the ball twice, so your first 2 plays went for a total of 2 yards, and then the one play that gets deflected, would have given you 45 or whatever. If, let's say, you take 3 shots downfield there, you might have been in a better spot. And obviously, none of it is in anyone's control at this point, but for a team down by 20, you need 3 scores. The urgency on that drive just wasn't there for me from Atlanta, and it's going to force their defense to get back into it here.
And so for Atlanta, the punt away is going to set up Queen City with the ball on their own 22-yard line. Jet 0. I mean, you just look at those stats. 4.2 yards per carry. The man has been basically, he could run the entire offense on his own if they really wanted him to, but A.J. Caswell going to take this 1st and 10, throw it on the flat route, and it's going to gain him a nice 4 yards.
Yeah, Spelling there with another catch. And I think Jet 0, a lot of his credit can go to Chris Komisak, not only for the coaching, but also for being a fullback and leading the way on a lot of these runs. And the offensive line as well in Queen City is doing a beautiful job. So for the Corsairs, they're really, putting it to this Atlanta team. The Swarm need to stop.
And it's going to be another handoff up the middle to Jet Zero on second down. Gain of 3 on the play. Makes it 3rd and 3. And if you're Queen City, you know, you're in clock control mode. Those are the sorts of plays you want to be making.
Yeah, and if you're Atlanta, this drive's going pretty well for you here. 3rd down, if you can get off the field, you still have a chance to score with over 5 minutes to play if you're good about it here. Big play here on 3rd down.
Short drop from Caswell, actually going to roll out, kind of pips it up into the air. Tip drill, intercepted by Atlanta.
Yeah, Aquantis Shine comes down with that one. Huge play for the man just inducted into the Hall of Fame. His 15th career interception against his former team. Nice play here off the bobble. Sticks with it and is able to make the catch. It's basically a punt for Queen City, so it's one of those rare plays, Jack, where both teams are kind of okay with the outcome. And now Atlanta, the ball back, plenty of time. You know, you almost look at that last drive and you almost wipe away kind of the disgust. You got a new opportunity here to go down the field again.
Yeah, and really they only lost about probably 20 or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It is quite possibly the best outcome that drive could have had. And they're going to start with a handoff to BDG Hollywood, but it's going to lose a yard for him. On the whole, I mean, Hollywood, he's been having an okay day. He got that big run that got him all the way down to the red zone. But beyond that, he's just been mostly kind of like a utility back in a way.
Yeah, and I think it's almost time to abandon the run. It's almost time to go throw heavy here and see what you got.
That's exactly what they're going to do. With Dynasty throws over the middle right into the soft spot of the defense. Gains about 19 yards on the play, all the way down to the 31.
Yeah, 3rd most passed yards a game for this Atlanta offense. Now, Queen City is really good against the pass on defense. They are the 6th best passing defense in the league, so you got to be careful, and Dynasty knows that considering the day he's had. But the way that you can throw the ball down the field is so important for Atlanta, and like I said, I think it's time to start trying it, right? 6 picks and going for it is better than running the clock out on yourself.
They're going to hand it off to BDG Hollywood, but that time it doesn't work out quite as well. 2nd and 9. Again, Andy, I got to agree with you here. Why are you still trying to force the run, trying to make that work when it's very clear Queen City's already got that dialed in?
Yeah, and you don't have to abandon BDG. I think, you can get him involved in some of the screens. Like, for example, you run a screen to the bottom of the field right now, and maybe he picks up 12 or 13 yards.
Well, this time they're going to hand it off to him once more. It's going to be a gain of 1, and they're going to have to hurry up, and it looks like they're going to have to go for the same play a second time in a row. No, this time Brian Dynasty drops back, throws it to BDG.
There it is.
That's the screen that you want, and that's the screen that's going to get him the first down. It looks like they're going to run it again.
Yeah, stuck in this formation, though. Got to be careful.
Very high risk, high reward sort of play. Throws over to BDG, picks up a few blocks, picks up a few more, up to the 15, gain of 6 on the play. And now they're going to go into the same play again. Going to be 3rd time's the charm running this screenplay. And hey, it's been working for him well so far. Going to be another throw. And will they get it this time? No, they're going to only gain 1. Why are they still stuck in this formation? It would honestly be probably good at this point. Just call a timeout, regroup. But no, it's 3rd and 4. They're going for the same play once more. And will they get the blocks? No, they're going to lose a big chunk of yards. I'm surprised they didn't regroup at all during that period.
Yeah, it's tough. You really would have liked to see BDG, step out of bounds there at some point there on that sideline. Whether he's losing a yard and going out of bounds or not. Interesting here. Offense still on the field. I guess we're going for it.
Yeah, I guess they're saying it's now or never, and I can't say that I disagree with them necessarily. 4th and 8. It's going to be a little play action from Brian Dynasty, but it's not going to work. All the way back to the 27. What was such a promising drive has ended in disaster for the Swarm.
Yeah, very interesting there. Dynasty walks right up into a sack. I think that's Andre Krim. Is that Andre Krim who was there? It's a big defender who he walked right into. Yeah, Andre Krim, his 14th sack of his career, and it gives Queen City the ball back at the 27. Atlanta, for all what they did on that drive, they really tried to push the ball down the field near the end, and it's just unfortunate that the play action didn't work out how they wanted.
And the first play is going to be a simple handoff to Jet Zero, who gets the first down. And more importantly, keeps it right in the middle of the field, so they're going to keep on draining the clock.
Yeah, and if you're Queen City, I mean, that's all you want to do. And that is where Atlanta running, sticking with the run as a game plan when it wasn't working as well, comes back to kind of bite them, is because you helped yourself, you helped your opponent, take time off the clock by running the football that late. And it now gives Queen City the opportunity, to take the clock down even further now that they have the football back.
And it's going to be another 1st and 10 handoff to Jet Zero, gain of 4. And that should bring us to the 2-minute warning, maybe with one more snap.
Yeah, interesting to see when they do snap it. Atlanta with 3 timeouts would like them to snap it before and then maybe get sacked or lose a yard. Queen City, though, smartly should just let us go to the 2-minute warning, then take the snap on 2nd down.
Well, we'll have to see what they come up with. They will be cutting it close with the 2-minute warning. And that's exactly what they're going to do. 2 minutes remaining in this ball game, folks. Queen City up big and looking to seal the deal. You're watching the Simulation Football League here on For the Fans. .120 seconds remaining in the ball game. Handoff, Jet Zero right up the middle. And now they're going to force Atlanta to start burning their timeouts.
Yeah, and if you're Atlanta, tonight was not your night, right? You have the opportunity to regroup, come back. They're a good football team, right? They have a lot of players on their team who can, really kind of start getting back into it. There's a lot of opportunity here for the Swarm tonight. Not their night, but a long season ahead of them.
3rd and 4. Handoff right up the middle, Jet Zero. And did he get the first down? No, he did not. 4th and inches. Minute 54 remaining in this ball game.
If I'm Queen City, I might think about going for this one just to end it. I mean, it's over if you get a first down. Couple inches to go with one of the best backs in the league, but they will be gracious and punt it away. At midfield, it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world to turn it over either, but it's probably the more polite thing to do to give it back to Atlanta.
Yeah, the more polite thing to do, and they're going to just take it at the 23.
And that's Queen City. They've been polite tonight, right? They had that big hit earlier in the game. That was Atlanta. It's been a pretty polite back and forth. There's been some big hits, but you can tell there's a lot of mutual respect here. Mark Chisholm getting his start in Queen City. A lot of respect for Eric Barkley and this franchise. And Queen City kind of in this renaissance this season, right, where they're getting back into it after a couple years of down seasons.
Yeah, these two teams have played each other a lot since the Swarm came into the league, and look at that! Down the sideline, they're going to get a touchdown to end off this ball game. Boo Chisholm with a big, bad touchdown.
Well, hold on, Jack. We're not just done yet. There is a minute 38, and now Atlanta will have the opportunity to kick the onside. And if they get it back, we might be singing a different tune here in a couple minutes.
Hey, I've seen crazier things happen in the game of football. And Boo Chisholm, I mean, it was just a perfect throw, catch, run, score. Bryant Dynasty worked that play to perfection.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good deep route. I didn't get a good look if the backups were in. Someone in the chat will definitely let me know. But an 87-yard touchdown completion down off that left-hand side will now set them up, only to be down by 13. That's 2 scores, Jack. I mean, a minute 38, this is the SFL. Anything can happen. It's certainly not impossible.
No, it certainly isn't, especially if they can get this onside kick, which, for those who don't know, here in the SFL, onside kicks, they're a little bit more likely to get recovered here than you see elsewhere.
We'll see what Sammy Steele's got on that steel toe.
Hopefully he doesn't use all the power within it, because then that would negate the point of the onside kick. And here we go. It's going to be a nice little high chip shot, but Queen City gets it, and that should be the end of it.
Yeah, we'll see. Still opportunity. I'm interested to see how this Queen City offense plays this. They could take knees. They could try and run the football. They could, we've seen teams this week throw when they shouldn't. It looks like they're coming out to take some kneels.
Yeah, they're going to come out into the victory formation. And, yep, that's going to burn the final timeout from Atlanta. So that should, if my math is approximately correct here, it should take it to about 5 seconds left on 4th down.
Yeah, that'll pretty much effectively end the game to be, as clear as possible. Atlanta, they put all their mustard on the hot dog, if you will, but we're not able to eat good in the neighborhood. The Swarm, did all they could there at the end, but it was Queen City. Once they got that onside kick, all they had to do was put the ball in play, and the Corsairs will head to 4-0 through the first third of the season. Hats off to all the staff over in Queen City, Chris Komisak and company, for doing what they need to do to kind of, I think shock the league is probably the wrong wording to use, right? I think often our pundits talk about which teams should be and shouldn't be competing for championships, right? I think Fort Worth was the conversation for the offseason about the team competing, and not to say anything against Fort Worth, but as a record, they're just not there right now, right? That's not to say they won't be in 8 weeks, but right now they're not. And Queen City, who probably was not on anyone's list to be one of the top teams in the leagues, is. And that's why we play the football games, Jack, right? It's not who's the best team on paper. It's the best team that can beat the other teams that they play. And so for Queen City, they did it today. They beat Atlanta.
Yeah, and, for reference here, Fort Worth only got their first win this week. And, for those who don't know your history, Fort Worth was formed from 2 front office people in Queen City. So, in a way, there's some sort of, I don't know if I would call it. Yeah, some synergy, I guess, would be the word to use here. For Queen City to be performing so well to start off this season. And again, it all comes down to that front office. Chris Komisak, BJ Loveless. I've spoken a lot with BJ. I went to an expansion bid with him. And he was really talking about prior to this season that, it's a new culture in Queen City. It's a new everything. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Bryant Dynasty tries to go for another one, sharing the love of Siege Falco. And, hey, I've seen crazier things happen, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get 2 touchdowns in 8 seconds.
I don't think I could run 89 yards in 8 seconds. So even if they complete a pass, I can't imagine that the person would make it in the end zone with any time left to give them another play. But that doesn't mean they can't score once more, potentially, as time expires.
Yeah, to at least make the game look a lot more respectable than it is right now. Deep drop from Bryant Dynasty. Deep throw, deep lob over the middle, and that was going to be incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Just 3 ticks remaining before we send these 2 teams off into the starry evening.
Yeah, and that one will just about do it because they can't score twice in 3 seconds. But a really, good game by both teams. I think, Atlanta would look back and say that some of those interceptions they'd like to have back. For Queen City, they really did just what they needed to do.
Exactly, and now Queen City advancing to 4-0. Meanwhile, Atlanta falls to 2-2. One of the many teams here in this league to be sitting at that 2-2 threshold.
Yeah, when you look across the league now, there is quite distinctly a top and a bottom on, team rankings and how these teams are playing. Queen City certainly near the top, right? They do a lot of things really well, and for Atlanta, a lot to improve on, but certainly not out of this season at the 2-2 mark. There's a lot of opportunity So it'll be interesting to see over the next 8 weeks how these two teams play out. But this matchup, I think, is one that a lot of people will look back on both sides of the ball. For Queen City, it's kind of a turning point in your season, right? You were 3-0 and you turned and became 4-0 and really kept pushing down the field, right? That you can only win one game at a time. But for Atlanta, you were kind of humbled today, but not in the way that you would think, right? It's not that you are not the team. It's almost that you beat yourselves. Some of the interceptions didn't need to happen, right? Red zone picks or throws that weren't necessarily all the way down the field. They can definitely adjust from this and become a better team based off of what happens today. And I think, all of the players on that team would recognize that. So for Atlanta, a chance to turn the page and look at next week. And for Queen City, a chance to keep fighting to prove that you're one of the best teams in the league. And this is definitely a big step in that, adventure.
Yeah, as you were talking about earlier, Andy, this season on the whole has been quite the renaissance for Queen City. Once the powerhouse of the SFL, then went dormant for quite a number of seasons, only, I think, notched like one playoff win. But now they've really come roaring back to life. 4-0. I mean, really, who could have seen that coming from a team like this? And especially coming in, and honestly, this could be like their watershed game, as we're about to see the player of the game here tonight. And the award goes to Deezer Powell, the wide receiver for Queen
Wow.
City.
You love to see that. Get the other special key players involved. Good for him.
Yep, definitely deserving of the award. As you can see his stats right there, 2 touchdowns on the day. But that'll bring an end to our coverage here of the SFL on For the Fans. I'm Jack Brown alongside Andy Hamilton, Hattori Hanzo, and Shane Kaufman in the stats truck, making us sound smart. We say so long and have a fantastic Sunday evening.